Folks who know me call me a drifter. They don't know I'll stop my rambling. They don't know that someday, somewhere somebody's gonna make me settle down. I'm going home, Laura. I'm going home. I'm going home, Laura. I'm going home. Well, no matter where I wander, I know I'll always find a welcome. At the end of every journey, there'll be friendly people waiting. I'm going
I was smiling from ear to ear as I drove my first day of Route 66 in California. I recall stopping at a small post office to mail some postcards I wrote for loved ones. I continued on and stopped for lunch in Ludlow. After lunch, I looked at my route options to get to my next stop. As I mentioned before, Route 66 no longer exists completely as it once did. And even Google Maps doesn't try and put you on the side roads, as much as you try and force it. From what I could tell from my map, I had no choice but to get on the freeway. I took a few moments to prepare myself, then Stella and I merged onto the interstate. I recall looking at the speed limit signs as I hugged the right side of the road. 70 miles an hour. Enormous semi-trucks blazed past as I flew down the mountain. I think I was hitting 65 at that point. I was definitely screaming as loud as I could in my helmet.
out here in the fields.
I arrived on the other side of the mountain unscathed and pulled into the driveway of Becky and Renee's house. Becky was an old Navy buddy of my dad's. She had been following my trip on Facebook. It was wonderful to spend time with family friends and hear about the Navy base where I was born. It was a perfect welcome to my new home state. Driving through Los Angeles was a rush of emotions. I got lost a few times. At this point, I wasn't following any maps and decided how hard could it be. It's a city. I assumed it would be a typical grid and I'd hit the ocean if I continued west. But that led me down a few wrong roads. Slowly but surely, I found my way to Santa Monica. I finally arrived at my destination and met my brother. We walked around Santa Monica for a bit, then headed north up the Pacific Coast Highway to my new home. My glorious trip had finally come to an end.
King of the road. She broke down and let me in.
If you've stuck with me over these past 12 states, 3,000 miles, 100 days, I'll leave you with these words. You have to take Route 66 on purpose. Google Maps will just put you on the interstate, the easier option. If you want to take Route 66, you have to look for the signs yourself. You have to work hard to stay on it. It's easy to find yourself drifting back to the highway where everyone else drives, but there's so much more to see when you follow the signs and stick to the route you've set out for yourself. I wanted to share this story a lot sooner, but it wasn't until recently that I even felt like I had a story to tell. Scoot 66 taught me that you can't do it alone. Be as stubborn as you want, but it won't help you in the end. You have to ask for help and embrace support if you're lucky enough to have it. It was only through the kindness of strangers, family, and friends that I was able to complete this adventure and this film. The original idea behind this movie was to interview people I met along my cross-country scooter ride. I was going to ask them the big questions, get the big answers, and solve the big mysteries of life. Somewhere during my college experience, a seed had been planted that the world is imperfect, and we need to constantly push each other to make it better. We can only work to make it better by recognizing those imperfections. The truth is, perfection is impossible. But the constant reflection and effort to make something better is the ultimate goal. I've been in California for 10 years now. This documentary has sat on the shelves for those 10 years because it wasn't perfect. It took a global pandemic for me to take this project back on. I had to embrace the imperfections and my own unrealistic expectations and tell the story of the journey itself, not the meaning of life. What remains most valuable to me today are the memories and everything in my life I now have that came from that journey. I still live in California, I'm married, I live right outside of LA near friends and family. As for Stella, she's retired and lives in the garage. Perhaps someday she'll ride again with a new generation of scooter adventurers.
I wish that I knew what I know now. When I was younger, I wish that I knew what I know now. When I was stronger, the can such a pretty show to steal your heart away. The backstage back on earth again. The dressing rooms are great. They come on strong, and it ain't too long, but I make you feel a man. But love is blind, and you soon will find you're just a boy again.
You're still here? It's over. Go home. Go.
Well, it's alright, riding around in the breeze. Well, it's alright, if you live the life you please. Well, it's alright, doing the best you can. Well, it's alright, as long as you lend a hand. You can sit around and wait for the phone to ring, waiting for someone to tell you everything. Sit around and wonder what tomorrow will bring. Maybe a diamond ring. Well, it's alright, even if they say you're wrong.